Yo, welcome to the Kryptik Show. It's your bro. What's up? This episode I want to talk a bit about the industry, music industry, specifically for rappers, hip hop artists. So probably not going to be the last time I'm talking about this, but recently I've seen some material on this. I'm going to share some links in the description for you to check out to see in more detail some of the stories and some of the aspects of this shit that I'm going to cover here. Basically, it's not a very positive message here. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, what about the industry? What do you do, right? So, let's say you're an artist, starting out, probably still quite young, and what do you want, right? At first, you probably just want to make music. You want to make something cool. You're a fan. You want to do something, right? That's how I started. I think that's how most people start, right? So after that, what do you want? Well, you want people to hear it. Perhaps you're thinking about making some money, right? Which is not crazy. Like, we got these examples, we see these videos and all that, where you see successful rappers looking pretty goddamn wealthy. And yeah, you're probably thinking, I want a piece of that, right? Yeah, it used to be, if you're at that stage, you're kind of amateur, you're playing around, you got some stuff recorded somehow, right? You used to make a demo, like before it used to be cassettes, tapes, demo tapes. And then a little later, you got into, burning your own little CD and shit, and trying to shop around your ideas, your music, basically, yeah? So you can try to give it to artists, send it to labels, radio stations, all that stuff, right? But that's not a very effective way to do it, yeah? So some people got lucky, but most people don't, Callbacks are very, very rare with that. I think especially these days, you're not going to get any response. So getting into the industry itself, quite difficult. You need to, create some sort of sensation and shit, so the people will have to notice you. Now, there's a lot of stories like this, like well-known artists, they just got lucky, or they met some important industry head along the way and decided to, start a straight spit in front of them and impress the dude and got a contract off that. So it used to be the best way to do it. So kind of impress someone, and that's a lot of work and a lot of luck to get there, yeah? So as a kind of way, as a technique to get there, low success rate. It's no guarantee at all, that you're going to be kept on and that you're going to get a decent contract. Now, here's another one, the decent contract, yeah? So people who do get signed, who do get offered contracts, they tend to be too impressed with kind of the cash advance that they get, not read the fine print, just sign it. And when you're young, you don't really get it, you don't have a lawyer, you probably don't have any money for a lawyer, and you're not used to this kind of stuff. You're not used to negotiating, you're not used to legal language and shit like that. So you're going to probably make a mistake and sign a contract that is not that great. Let's say it all works out. So you got that signed, you're in, your shit is hot, the label promotes the hell out of it, and you actually sell some. Well, the percentage of the profits that you get is ridiculously low compared to what the label gets. So you're going to have to sell like crazy to actually make some money off of this, right? So and there's a lot of stories about this too. So your name might be everywhere. You're on television, you're on the radio stations, you're performing, you're doing all this shit. You're very successful, fans, in the millions, and still not making that much cash. A lot of the problems with this are talked about in some documentaries and actually in the music. Like, I remember the shit from when I was just listening to rap back in the days. Like, many rappers, they talk a lot about having shitty record deals. Many people hate the record labels, You gotta wonder where that comes from, right? And yeah, it does come from a place. It's not just to say something. You can talk about anything in a song. So if they choose to, go crazy on the labels, like, fuck this, yeah, there's a reason for that. And that's because most of these contracts are really shitty, and they really bind the artists, yeah? So there's a lot of talk about creative influence, so you can't really make the music you like. Creative control, not really that up to you. So that's a problem. Another problem is labels tend to not let their artists go. So when your peak is over, you're not really making that money anymore, and you think, well, label's going to drop me. fine, I'll just do something else or whatever. But they won't drop you, so they will keep you in their grip. Basically, you're not making them any money, you're not making any money yourself, and you can't get out. So you can't shop yourself to another label or try to do something on your own or whatever, right? So that's another danger with these record labels. Now, all this talk about labels, it's a little old-fashioned at this point. Technology has kind of caught up, and the internet has really changed the whole industry, right? So it really ate up a lot of the profits of the record label by having free downloads and all this kind of shit. So at the moment, of course, buying albums is not really a thing. Yeah. So this helped kind of the independent spirit, which at the time was like the thing. Yeah. So this is the alternative. So I'm not doing a label. I don't need no label. I can do this shit myself. Yeah. Because technology had advanced. You just have a computer, microphone, and you can just do your shit yourself. Right. That's what I did. Right. It's not that hard. And so, how do you release? Well, got a solution for that too. We got the internet. You got all these platforms, like musical platforms, with your Reverb Nations, Bandcamps, and SoundCloud, and all that shit. And you got your social media. You can promote and you can post on that. And that's what everybody's doing. Yeah. Problem is though, it turns out not to be that much of a solution. It might have been like for a second there, for a little while that was good. But the problem is there's too many artists. The problem is when everyone can be an artist, you get hundreds of millions of artists everywhere, so Spotify's and iTunes and all that shit, it's nice and it's new and it works, but you're competing with basically everybody. Yeah. And also the profit margins are really, really small. So in that sense, it's even worse than a record contract. Like in the record contract back in the days, you used to get like about 10% of the profit of your album sales went to you as the artist, right? Now, let's say you're on Spotify or iTunes or something like that. Most people stream. Yeah, if they download your album, they gotta buy it. So you're selling an album. That's not bad. You get some money from that. That's not bad. But that's not what most people do, because internet connections have become so good that people are just streaming. And now I read this figure somewhere. Now I don't know how true this figure is, but it can't be that far off. And it says like you need about 5,000 streams to get the profit that you would have gotten off an album sale. Yeah, so about 5,000 streams equals selling one album. So if you're selling mostly albums, you might be okay. People are streaming more, so they're gonna have to stream the fuck out of your stuff for you to see any money at all, right? The only thing left basically is YouTube at the moment, and that works for the moment. Yeah, so put out a lot of videos. People like the videos. We like to see something while we hear something. Hey, it's attractive, right? So easy to post, easy to embed everywhere. So you just promote the hell out of it on your Facebooks and your Twitters and your Instagrams and all that shit. And you can get some views on your YouTube clip, and from the ads, you get some cash, right? Now, right now, that works. Yeah, but then you look at all the platforms that came before it, in a very short amount of time, it eroded. It just didn't work so well anymore. And we kind of seeing that now. Like I've heard many people complain that, especially like here, Indonesian YouTube for some reason pays you less than like Western YouTube. So if you get a European YouTube account or whatever, or an American one, apparently the money you get from the ads is a lot more interesting. Yeah, so it's for some reason it's lower here. I don't know if it's always been lower here or it's dropped or whatever, but it does show you that there's a fluctuation, and it means that it's not gonna always be what it is. And not too long ago, Google, which owns YouTube of course, raised the standard. It used to be like 1,000 views, you get some cash, and then you get some 100 subscribers, and those figures go up. So now you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, you need 100,000 views to see some money, all of that, right? So those numbers are going to probably go up. The profits from the ads are probably going to go down, and basic inflation, right? So there's a good chance that this YouTube thing is not going to last, not as a profitable enterprise. Yeah. So the people who got in at the right time and they got successful of it, well done, right? So, but it's not going to be a steady stream, right? So probably after that there's going to be something else, and it's always innovating. But when you look at the trends, right, and I think you should, you will see that it's not getting better in any way. The access is getting easier. That's much better. So if you just want to do music for the music and get it out there just for fun, basically, you're in good shape. This is a good time to be alive, basically. Yeah, you don't have to compete with a ton of artists to get your shit played on the radio. No reason for that. You can just upload your own shit. You got tons of platforms. It's all free, so easy, right? So if you're just doing it for the music, you're in great shape. If you're trying to get money off of this shit, I don't think so. Okay, so just a little insight there. Check out the links that I'm posting. It's really good stuff to watch. You know, just know what your motivation is. Trying to get rich off your music. Good luck, buddy. It's not impossible, clearly, but it is a difficult one, man. So I think it's better to do it just for the love of it and get a real fucking job. And that's the lie of the video. These people are bragging what they're spending, and they go broke in a year, you know. So that's that thing. And so they hold up this kind of fantasy world for aspiring artists to look like, oh, I want that. Yeah, I don't think you do. If you know the backstory of these people, there's very few that are actually that you would actually want to be. Okay, so beware, take care, run your shit. Okay, so on that note, I'm out. Hope this is a little bit useful. I hope you enjoy that. See you in the next one. Kryptik out. Peace.